So go ahead and just get yourself comfortable in your seat, and you might take a few moments to, wiggle around and shift around, play with sitting more forward or more backward, play with where you want your feet to go, where you want your hands to go, until it kind of just feels right, until it feels good. A little less efforted, and a little more easeful. And then having done that, just give yourself a few moments to settle into the space that you just curated. To take a deep breath or two in and out through your nose, maybe out of your mouth if you'd like. Those can be nice, those physiologic sighs, just breathing in big and then opening your mouth and then letting out a sigh or letting out whatever wants out. Maybe one more, just a nice big breath, pausing at the top, letting yourself be full, and then letting it all wash out. And letting the body just kind of melt into the space that you're in, into your chair. And every exhale, letting everything just kind of soften, letting everything soften. Letting your body maybe get just a little heavier, giving into gravity just that much more. Just breath by breath. Yeah, just letting the breath be natural. Breath already knows exactly what to do, how to move, how to fuel and nourish. So letting that just kind of be in its own rhythm and its own flow. And for now, just continuing to invite your attention to settle down towards the ground, down towards the ground. And just maybe every time the breath empties out, your awareness sinks down towards your feet. And towards the base of your body, your hips, your seat. Towards any of those places and spaces that are in contact with a feeling of support. And just letting this process continue to unfold, just continuing to invite attention, just gently invite attention to drop down and into this feeling of steadiness, of support. Those places where you feel connection. And where the support is rising up to meet you and greet you and hold you. And nothing you have to do, but just allow yourself to be in that space of support. And it might be that there's a particular space or place in this exploration of support that feels most accessible or most soothing, grounding. If so, that might be a nice anchor point, a nice place where you can kind of come back to time and again anytime the mind wanders or drifts or gets distracted. Kind of like a home base that you can return to at any time. And welcome to linger in that space, that feeling of support and connection as long as you'd like to. And if you'd also like to kind of expand your awareness a little bit here, you might let your kind of senses awaken to include any sounds that you can hear without strain, just allowing the sounds of the space to come and go. And you can kind of take in that sensory information, that sense of sound, the sounds that are near, the sounds that are further. You might even take a moment or two with each one, just sort of labeling it in your mind, like, oh, air conditioning, oh, dog, whatever it is. Just sort of taking note. And then eventually just kind of letting all of those sounds continue on their way, continuing to exist, not here as distractions, but here as reminders that you're here, reminders that you're here in this moment. And letting all those sounds just be, perhaps inviting your awareness to once again just settle down into that feeling of support. Maybe that anchor place or home base place. Letting yourself just be supported in that space. And lingering in this space as long as you'd like to, or perhaps beginning to, again, sort of awaken through the senses and take in just your physical space, just this feeling of your body and the shape that you're in this moment, the seat that you're in. And just maybe even starting at the top of your head and scanning all the way down the length of your body, one time or a couple times, just sort of taking in your space, non-judgmentally, nothing to change or fix. And just observing if there's any sensations, temperatures, textures. And again, if it's helpful, you can kind of name them in your mind, just passively, dispassionately. Oh, some coolness from the fan, or oh, that's my clothing. That's the fuzz of the blanket, whatever it is. And two, any physical sensations that might be present as well, right? Just trying to, take note of them and let them be. And then just like the sounds, kind of letting all of this sort of physical awareness exist as it is, nothing to change or fix. Eventually inviting your awareness to once again just let all that go and return back into your anchor, letting your awareness drop down and settle down into that feeling of groundedness, of supportedness. Nothing to do but allow yourself to be in that space of support, to receive it. And you can stay with that as long as you'd like to, or if you'd like to, you can also move your awareness into your breath now. And again, just observing the breath as it flows. It might just start as sort of a general awareness of the fact that your body is breathing. Just the feeling of movement wherever you feel it most easily. It might be through your nose, it might be more like your chest or your belly, your throat. Wherever you feel that movement of your breath most easily. And it might be also just knowing that you're breathing in. You could in your mind say, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. And if you find that creates almost a forcefulness or too much engagement, you could let it be more passive too. I'm being breathed in, I'm being breathed out. And again, no right or wrong, nothing to change or fix. And as you linger with your breath here, if you find a particular space or place where you're experiencing your breath to feel most soothing or most calming or connecting, that too could serve as an anchor for you if you'd like to, if it feels that way. And if not, no big deal too. But you can stay with the breath if you'd like, or you can just kind of continue to trust that it knows what to do, to let it go and move on its own, and return your awareness once again to that anchor, right? That anchor of your choosing. And that's the most important thing here, is that you get to choose, right? That space, that place, that sanctuary where you feel most connected, supported today, in this moment. And letting yourself linger in that connection and support as long as you'd like. If you did nothing else but just linger in that space, it would still absolutely count as this practice, your practice. But if you'd like to incorporate some movement in the body here, you might, next time you breathe in, just bring a little gentle lift of your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you breathe out, let the shoulders draw down your back. And then on the inhale, letting the shoulders roll up, rise up. And on the exhale, roll back and down. And, play with this on your own. Take however many you'd like. Take a few. You could do one shoulder at a time, both shoulders. You could change the direction. You could linger on a certain movement or stretch if it's feeling good. Let it be just this lovely little conversation with your body and your breath and your space. Again, no right or wrong, just intuiting your way through. Maybe just a couple more. And then the next time you breathe in, might roll your shoulders up and pause at the top of the breath, squeezing a little bit. And then open your mouth and release. Release everything. And maybe one more of those. If you'd like a big inhale, just squeezing, rolling up, and then opening your mouth and letting everything soften for a moment, perhaps just settling. Resettling back down and into that feeling of support, into that steadiness, that anchor, still here with you. And, you can stay with that as long as you'd like to, or you might just kind of invite your right ear to drop down towards your right shoulder, letting gravity do most of the work here. And encouraging everything else to just kind of switch off, letting your shoulders relax towards the ground, letting your jaw unhinge, even your tongue in your mouth soften, your eyelids. And you can stay with this, just letting gravity do its thing. You can keep your eyes closed if that's feeling good. If you wanted to, you could tip your chin down a little towards your shoulder, letting your eyes fall down towards your hip, towards the spot on your seat. And incorporating vision, just another one of your senses, another way to orient into your space, into the moment. Just taking in color and texture, light and shadow. And then, if you'd like to, you can kind of pivot your chin up towards the ceiling on this side and letting your eyes lift as well, and just to a place with no strain. Again, just stretching into the spaces that are available. And on your next exhale, you might let your chin just kind of roll down towards your chest, and eventually over to the other side. And there, letting your ear dip down towards your shoulder and letting the side be brand new, not beholden to the way the other side felt or looked or was experienced. Encouraging that's kind of melty quality in your torso, muscles of your face. You can stay with this, or you could tip your chin down towards your shoulder, letting your eyes fall to that spot by your hip or on your seat. And just letting the visual information also serve as a way to anchor into the moment, as a way to anchor into the space, this place. Whenever you're ready, if you'd like, you can tip your chin up the other way. You're just kind of turning your gaze up towards the sky, stretching the front of your neck. And then whenever you're ready on that exhale, letting your chin dip down towards your chest. It could feel good to just roll a little bit side to side, shoulder to shoulder for a few moments. And eventually letting your chin lift up, stretching through the front of your neck. Just easy stretch to the front of the neck. And again, perhaps chin down towards your chest. If you'd like, you can bring your fingertips up to the back ridges of your neck and just give a little rub, so maybe some circles, or you might find some pressure points. Just applying some of that gentle press as you breathe. That little ridge, if you reach your fingers all the way up, kind of right where your skull and your neck meet, right there, there's a lot of connective tissue, lots of fascia there that can get really tight, so that's a good spot to focus on. Some presses, some circles. That base of the skull space. And same thing, the ridge right above that ridge, right at the very, very bottom of the skull. Another good spot, those occipital ridges. And then whenever you're ready, just letting your hands relax back down wherever they want to go, letting yourself relax back into your seat. Maybe taking a deep breath in through the nose and one of those sighs out of your mouth as you just sink back in and settle back in. Just back into the space that you're in, this feeling of support. Just re-anchoring and resetting and remembering the support that is ever present. And welcome to stay and linger with that as long as you'd like to. Or if you'd like to kind of continue bringing some movement in here. Today we're going to take our arms, sort of like cactus arms, so goalpost arms or whatever, just bending at the elbows, and just bring your elbows back a little bit. Just just stretch them back a little like you're trying to tap the back of the chair. Take a nice easy breath. And then just bring your forearms and your palms together, a couple breaths that way, just pressing forearms together, stretching through the back of your chest, shoulders. And again, you might open the elbows wide, kind of stretching through the front of the shoulders, taking a breath in. And then you could bring your elbows, forearms back in, emptying your breath out. You can do this a few times, breathing in, just stretching open through the front of your shoulders, and breathing out, curling in, stretching through the backs of your shoulders. Feel free to play with it a couple times. And again, if you wanted to pause and linger in a certain stretch or shape, if that's feeling good or desired, then you can do that too. Last one, as you open up, stretch your arms out really wide like you're trying to touch opposite sides of the room. You can rotate your wrists down and up. And then when you're ready, reach your arms up and over your head. Feel free to, if you'd like to, interlace your fingers or your thumbs. You might press your palms up. You could even look up. And then, drop one of your arms down to the side and take a little lean, a little side stretch, leaning over one way. And you can let your head drop if that feels good on your neck. Here too, you could play with rotating your arm up or down. whenever you're ready, change sides. And here again, you might do a few side to side, just moving at your own pace. Reaching over, stretching. You could linger if it feels good, or you could move, one breath at a time, exhaling as you transition, breathing in as you stretch. It is up to you. Just to explore the pace and the rhythm. Again, like you're just in this conversation, this back and forth. Whenever you feel ready, perhaps reaching both arms overhead one more time. Again, if you wanted to interlock fingers, stretch up, maybe look up, take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, let everything just relax back down, hands landing where they want to land, back of the body relaxing into your seat, and your hips, your feet, once again be heavy, giving into gravity. Nothing to hold up or make happen or do, just inviting awareness to settle back into that feeling of support, that anchor place, home base place. You can stay with this, or if you'd like to, with your hands perhaps on your knees or on your thighs. As you breathe in, gently curl your chin up, your chest up. You could even take your eyes up if you wanted to incorporate gaze. And then go ahead and do the opposite. Tuck your chin and curl your spine back towards the back of your seat. And kind of keep going on your breath in, curl your chin up, your chest up, maybe eyes up. And as you breathe out, curl in on yourself. Take a few. You can play with sliding your hands backwards as you lift your chin and chest. And sliding your hands forward as you tuck your chin and curl in. Almost like a little massage on your legs. That's just another way to bring some tactile awareness. If it works, if you like it, take a few. A couple more. Last one. Big lift up. Big curl in. Next time you curl forward, again, if you wanted to reach your arms out or reach your arms up or hook a wrist or anything at all, feel free. And then letting everything relax once again, letting your hands come down to land where they want to land, letting yourself melt back into your seat, into your space. Feeling of the earth beneath your feet, the seat beneath your body. All the support beneath you and around you, just that steady reminder of all the support that you carry within you. Always available. And feeling free to stay with this as you are, or if you'd like to, you might gently curl your chest up a little bit and take a little twist to one side, either side, right or left, just a little rotation in your spine. As you rotate here, feel free to, you can use the sides of the chair. You could use the arms of the chair if you wanted to create a little bit of resistance or add a little more support. But again, nothing to strain or force. Nice wide breaths into the sides of your body. And here too, if you wanted to incorporate your neck, you could take your gaze a little more towards your shoulder. You could even open your eyes and walk your eyes as far back as they can comfortably go, keeping everything in your jaw relaxed as much as you can. And then whenever you're ready, letting yourself unwind over to the other side, taking your time. And again, just setting up in your seated twist here, using the arms of your chair if you want to. There's something to hold on to or support. Welcome to incorporate your neck by taking your chin a little closer to your shoulder or your eyes a little further back, as long as there's no strain or forcing. And then whenever you feel ready, letting yourself unwind, and melt back into your seat, your support, taking any natural movements, wiggles, shimmies that your body is requesting. Just as you resettle back in, taking a deep breath or two. And returning home, returning back home, that home base, that feeling of support. And feeling free to stay with us as long as you'd like to, or if you wanted to incorporate just a little bit more movement today, from where you are, you can kind of plant your feet on the ground, or on, if the ground's kind of far, you could, put something under your feet, like a pillow or some books. And then just take one of your ankles and bring it up to rest on your opposite thigh. So just kind of make it like a little number 4 with your legs. Yep. And there, just letting your knee get kind of heavy, letting the top leg just kind of get heavy here too. Just letting gravity do what it likes to do. You can play with rolling your ankle around a little bit, those joint spaces where, we hold a lot of our circulation, our lymphatic system, right? Some rolling around movement can be nice. You could point and flex. You could give yourself a little foot massage, right? Like it's all on the table, whatever feels good here. If you wanted to involve a little bit more sensation, you're always welcome to take your hand and press it to the top of your knee, the one that's in that number 4 shape, and press down very gently. That can create just a different sensation in the hips. All right, and as you press, again, you could, modulate the degree of sensation, how much, how little. And then whenever you feel ready, gently releasing that, regrounding your foot upon the earth, maybe taking a breath or two before switching sides, just to even out. And then whenever you're ready, yep, other foot over, that number 4. Just settling in and again, letting the side be brand new, like you didn't just do it already on the other side. Brand new, doesn't need to feel the same, look the same. You could play with those ankle rolls, those points and flexes, foot massages, anything that you'd like to here. It might just feel good just to kind of let everything hang out. If you wanted more sensation, you could use your hand and kind of just gently press straight down onto your top knee, top thigh. Just kind of finding the spot that feels good. Sometimes even like hand way back by the hip crease can feel good too. So again, no right or wrong. Whenever you feel ready, letting that go, letting your feet return to the ground. If you need a little wiggle or bounce, with your heels, your feet, your legs, anything at all, feel free. And then just kind of resetting, relaxing back, taking maybe a big belly breath all the way in and opening your mouth, letting out whatever wants out. And just sinking in, sinking back into that support, still here. Feeling of the earth rising up to meet you and support you, your seat. And as you drop into this feeling of steadiness, of support, letting go of any lingering efforting, any lingering doing, nothing to make happen, nowhere to get to. Already here in this moment, everything exactly as it is, and you exactly as you are. Just invite it all to start to kind of switch off. Letting yourself simply rest in the space that you're already in, as it is and as you are. And from wherever your awareness may have journeyed, letting it be just that gentle invitation back in, back home, just back into awareness, this feeling of your body in your seat, the movement of your breath within your body, any sensations, sounds, textures. And as ever and always, that feeling of steadiness, of support beneath you, that reminds you of that steadiness and support within you. Starting to consciously reawaken, taking any of those intuitive movements that your body might be requesting. And moving not to get anywhere, simply moving to be in the experience of movement, of sensation, of connection. And then perhaps from where you are, taking a moment to just bring your hands up to your chest or to your belly, right? Creating that physical contact, right? Embodied awareness. An easy, nourishing breath in and a cleansing breath out. All right, my friend.